if I can have your hammer.
Doesn't matter which, north, south, east, or west.
Mm-mm. Can't find my hole. There it is. Yeah. So you drilled a 5/16 hole for these stainless steel taps, and you just drive it in there till it's snug. And my little collector is gonna hang. Got a little hole in my piece there, and that'll hang on my tap. And the tap is drilled in there at a slight angle for gravity's sake, to help the sap run out of it. And so it's just gonna hang there and collect. Yeah, I think that's about two and a half inches, I think is what I'm drilling.
Okay.
If you drill too far, you'll get too far into it and it'll actually make the sap bitter.
Bitter.
Yeah. Put it, there it is. My homemade collectors.
What'd you use? Just piping?
Yeah. Yeah, I bought the bags and the zip ties come as a set, and then I bought the taps separately.
And then the top is just a little baggy.
Yeah, keeps rain and bugs and stuff out of it.
Now repeat what you just said.
Like, yeah, this is an amateur operation, but that's how professional operations always start. You start out with, you know, something small like that, and then the next thing you know, you've got like 1,000 feet of piping and collection devices, and who knows what all you got.
One more time. It's a beautiful day to be doing. Just look at the ice on those trees.
It's above freezing.
I know.
Slightly. About 1 degree, I think.
Did you find your hole?
Yeah.
Now what was that little bit of it used for, to hook it to a pipe or hook it to a...
Yeah, this is the tap, and it's got a little, the way it's made, it's got a little barb on the end of it, and there's an attachment that goes onto it where you can then run plastic piping, so you can run it a great long distance over to a central collecting container.
Suck these trees dry.
And you know, but it takes a lot of sap to make a little bit of
that's part
syrup.
2.
Yeah.
That'll be shown in part 2.
Yeah. We'll edit it all down, so we'll take the 6 or 7 hours it takes to boil it down, and we'll condense it down into about 5 minutes.
Okay.
The magic of television.
We've got 1, 2, 3, and another one over in front of the house.
Yeah, so we've got 5 of them.
So we'll see how this does.
We can get about 8 gallons a week, that'd be pretty good.
Look at the ice on those trees.
Might give you about...
Have a whole gallon of juice and we'll have what, how much syrup?
Well, for every, what I've been getting is about for 4 gallons of sap, I get a half pint of maple syrup. So, good enough for a pancake.
You wanna go sledding?
No. So we've got our sap in the pot, and we have the most exciting job of watching the pot boil. But it is starting to steam, which is good. And really that's all we're gonna do is just stand here and watch the pot boil. But we've got this one, we've got this other little pot, which this one's making a bit more progress because it's smaller. And then we've got 2 other little pots over there. One's making big progress. And well, it's gonna get there. Yeah, this one's about ready to boil. This burner's hotter than the other one. And it's coming. It's coming. And this one, the sap was a little bit darker than the others, so I expect that we'll get sort of a darker colored amber syrup out of that one. But it's all going to look really good. Eventually, we're going to get it all cooked down into one little pot, and we'll make us up some nice maple syrup. So this one started to boil. I'm going to take the lid off because I don't want to trap the steam in it, and I want it to come out. And we're going to watch the pot boil. Okay, so we're about an hour into the boiling process. We've got 3 of our 4 pots boiling. The big one here, it's a lot of water and sap, so it's going to take a while to get it going. But you can see in this pot, and hopefully if the camera will allow it, you can see where the level has dropped. So we're making progress, getting closer to sap, or syrup. Getting closer to syrup, that's what I wanted to say. These 2 pots are also boiling. It's a little bit more difficult to see how much they've dropped. It hasn't left a line in the side of the pot, but it has dropped a little bit, which is good. So ultimately, 3 of the 4 pots are making progress. Yeah. So we're at about 5.5 hours, and so we've just spent the last few minutes consolidating pots. So the big pot is completely empty, and we've got a good bit in this slightly smaller pot. We're going to cook it down. And over here on the other cooker, we've gotten a bit creative and put things in this open pan, and we're hoping that this will increase the evaporation of the syrup. So we're getting a little bit closer. I think we're going to be here a little bit longer than I thought we were going to be, but that's okay. We did start off with 24 gallons, so that's okay. So if you're just joining us, or if you've been with us the whole time, we're now down to a little bitty pot. And I suspect we're going to end up with somewhere around a quart-ish in syrup. But it's progress. And it's more than I had. So that's always a good thing. I'll kind of turn it down. But you can see how deep the color has become. It's got more of that maple syrup color to it. And still got a little bit of water in it, I think, right now, so we'll cook it a little bit further. And yeah. So what I've got is I've got 3 batches here it's in order. So this was the first batch we did. This is the second batch we did, and this is tonight's batch, which is our third batch. And you can kind of see the progression of the color. So through the season, the color of the syrup gets darker until you end up with this, which is almost black. And depending on your taste, some people like it light, some people like it dark. So this one, you can see that it's got some crystallization in the bottom of it, and this is caused by cooking it too long. Now, this isn't ruined, so what we're going to do is just heat this up a little bit, pour it into a pot, add a little bit of water to it, and cook it for 5 or 10 minutes, and that should fix it and eliminate a lot of this crystallization. And so yeah, we were cooking about 30 gallon of sap, and it was yielding about 3 quarts of syrup. So it took us about all day, almost 12 hours to cook it. Thank you, thing. And but yeah, it's a long process for a little bit, but it's more than we had, and it's a really fun project.